some of the stuff that we struggle with, though, and I kind of want to hear your thoughts on it, is there's this feeling among veterans, especially among the special operations community, that you compare yourself to somebody like Will Markham. You compare yourself to these giants that have gone before you. And the nagging voice in the back of your head goes, hold on. Yes, I'm injured. Yes, I deal with daily pain. Yes, I have these things that I think I should be compensated for, because really, if I wasn't in the Air Force, I wouldn't have TBIs, because I got TBIs from falling away from blasts and falling off of things and getting my bell rung and whatever, right? Like, there is something that's in the back of my head and Trent's head and Peach's head, because we've talked about it. And I'm sure other vets, I won't speak for them, but you compare yourself to somebody and you say, well, that's what somebody that's really, this person that lost both of their legs, they're really disabled. I am not disabled. And you have this really hard time of getting there. And that was honestly one of the biggest things that Scott did for me, is he sat down and he's like, listen, idiot, I know you feel this way, but that's not valid. Like, you are discounting yourself, and you are gatekeeping essentially this rating for what you earned for yourself. I have to imagine that other vets that come to POVAT feel that way. What would you say to those folks that are having those feelings, to get them to engage and to get them to actually get compensated what they're worth?
So that's a great point, Aaron, and I hear it all the time. I can't tell you again, since 2019 to present, there's 218 people within Project OVAT, and 200 of them are probably of the same mindset, because they've all been referred, and they're all, most of them are special operators, and again, it goes back to being the quiet professional. And you don't want to be the guy that identifies, hey, I need to go to the doc because my knee hurts. You don't want to be the guy that identifies that he's got some psychological stressors that he's dealing with, because he doesn't want to be off the teams. But you need to be considered for your VA compensation and pension rating on your own merits. And I cannot more plainly put it than my own experience. And I will tell you that for me, as again, I'll say a paralegal in an office job. Yes, I did time on the flight line. Yes, I did. So my hearing's not what it's supposed to be because of that. But most of my time was in an office as a paralegal, as a first sergeant, as a station chief of the Defense Career Service. Those things caused my own psychological stressors. My psychological stressors are mine. I'm not going to compare them to yours. I'm not going to compare them to Will's. I'm not going to compare them to anybody else's, because I know what they are. And again, if it had not been, so here's the thing about us folks that get a little long in the tooth in the military branches, and we see the amputee that clearly has a disability that we were like, dude, that dude needs the money more than I do. It's not about he needs the money more than you do. It's about you're entitled to your own amount. And what is that amount? We don't promise you that we're going to get you to a certain percentage. We promise you that we're going to give you an honest look. And Scott has a number of cases where he's come back to me and said, "Wow, he's rated where he's supposed to be." And I'm like, okay. And that gives that veteran closure on something that he, for whatever reason, needs to address. Maybe he thinks he's entitled to more, but when we give him the honest and candid feedback that we do, and say, you're rated appropriately, you're good to go. If things get worse and you think you warrant an increase further on down the road, you're always a member of the POVAT family. You could always call us back up and say, hey, you know what? That hip thing that I had that I didn't think was going to turn into anything, now I got to get a hip replacement. Is that gonna up my rating? Well, more than likely it is. So let's take a look at that now. So once you're a member of POVAT, you're always a member of POVAT. You can always come back.